What's going on, my soul family? Welcome back to another episode of the Awake with Jake show. On today's episode, I'm going to be dropping in and sharing with you how to let go. Scary words, right? How does that feel? How does that resonate with you when you hear those words of letting something go? Fearing loss. The fear of loss is one of the biggest things that we as humans struggle with because we are so attached to things in this material world. Now, before I get into this episode, I want to share with you that it would mean the world to me if you could take a moment and leave a rating and review on my podcast, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss any future content. My mission here is to bring you as much value as possible, and I appreciate you so much, and it means the world to me when you leave positive feedback on my podcast to help me reach more souls with my messages of healing, hope, and wisdom. Now, allow this transmission to come through. Whatever you're doing right now, I just invite you to be present here with me, to be present with me as I allow my channels to open up, to allow this divine energy to flow through me. So as I breathe into my heart and just feel this energy rush through me, I invite you to do the same. Welcome. Do you feel that energy? Do you feel that sacred energy rushing through you? Or are you blocked? Are you living in fear because your root chakra is blocked or your sacral chakra is blocked? I hear so many people in the spiritual world and spiritual community talk about opening your heart and your third eye and your throat chakra and your crown chakra, all the higher chakras. But here's the thing. When your root and your sacral is blocked, you can't get into that higher dimensional awareness. So I'm inviting you to look inward and ask yourself, what wounds, what trauma, what pain have I not resolved? What energy is still within me that needs to be released? And this is the letting go phase. You see, in this life, we die many times. Energetic death, the death of the ego, the letting go, the grieving, the loss. And when we do this, we create space for a better environment because we allow ourselves to fully feel it, to heal it, to go into it and breathe into it, to breathe life into it. So this sacred energy can flow. Now, for a lot of my life, I was trapped. All my energy was blocked. I was shut down emotionally, spiritually. I wasn't connected to the divine within me because I was afraid, because I got caught up in this materialistic dimension of reality, this earthly plane of existence, which is very beautiful. But you don't want to get trapped here. You want to get free. The goal in this game, in the only game in town, is to get free. To get free of this earthly suffering, to get free of this earthly existence. And how do we do that? We let go. We detach with love. And now, whether this is a job that you're letting go of because you know it doesn't serve your sacred calling, or a relationship that you need to let go of, or maybe it's your own self-destructive habits that you have. Maybe you spend too much time scrolling on social media, you're up too late at night, or you have bad eating habits, whatever you do. What are your destructive habits? Or maybe it's your own self-sabotage. Every time you feel a little bit of success or you feel a little bit of love, you deny it, you block it because you don't really feel worthy of it. And you have a pattern of pushing things away that are actually good for you. Do you feel worthy of love? Do you feel worthy of success? Do you feel worthy of the universe's love, divine love? I want to share with you a quote that I posted on my Instagram and I sent out to my email list. And if you're not on my email list, make sure you go to jakewooder.com/email to register for my healing messages through email. The quote said, "Allow yourself to feel your hurt fully. Close your eyes, observe the energy that you feel, and breathe into it. Letting go hurts, but it is far more painful to hold on to what doesn't serve your true heart's desire. Allow this empty feeling to be replaced with God's love. You are worthy of it. You are worthy of it. Yes, you, the person listening to this right now in this moment. in your kitchen, at the gym, wherever you are, I want you to know and allow this to resonate with every cell of your being that you are worthy of God's love, of this unconditional love, of this divine love. But we are programmed to believe that you always got to be more. You're never enough. You're never good enough, no matter what you do in this life. But I'm inviting you right now to kill that part of yourself energetically that thinks that you're not worthy, that thinks that you're not good enough, strong enough, smart enough, pretty enough, skinny enough. Whatever your belief system is, let that go. Let it go. There have been so many points in my life where I have had to grieve the loss of someone or something that meant a lot to me. And one example I want to share with you that's really close to my heart, which is one of the hardest things I've had to fully let go of, was my older sister, Joselyn. At 13 years old, I discovered Joselyn with a needle hanging out of her arm. She was in the bathroom, and at that point, she had legally overdosed on heroin. When I found her, I thought she was dead. And in the state she was in, she may as well have been dead because we had to rush her to the hospital and get her revitalized and get everything moving again for her. But for the past 15 years, Joselyn has been addicted to heroin. Now, as her little brother, I looked up to her. I idolized her. And if you have any siblings and you know exactly what it feels like to love your older sibling or to look up to a mother or father figure. But a lot of times we experience our elders or people that guide us or people that we look up to as going down a bad path in life. Now, I understand that Joselyn is being exactly who she is meant to be in this life. That's a part of her karmic package, and I cannot change her karma. But what I have allowed myself to do over the 100+ times that Joselyn has relapsed to heroin was each time she did that, I grieved her loss a little bit more and a little bit more. Because each time I thought she was going to die. So I would get phone calls, whether from the police or other people living in the hood and the trap houses with my sister Joselyn, telling me about, what was going on, whether she was getting arrested for prostitution or drug dealing or grand larceny. I mean, she's been down a crazy path in her life and put my family through absolute hell. And I don't blame Joselyn, okay? I'm not mad at Joselyn because I've healed that in my heart. Joselyn was my best friend. I looked up to Joselyn so much. She was funny. She was smart. She was outgoing. She was authentic. And one of the things that I loved the most about Joselyn was she stood up to my dad. She stood up to the tyrant that everybody was afraid of, including myself. I watched my sister and my dad literally get into a fist fight. Joselyn was about 16 years old at the time, and she swung at my dad, punched him in the side of the head. And I'm at the bottom of the stairs, my jaw on the floor because I couldn't believe what I just saw. She stood up to the tyrant, my father, craziest person I'd ever met in my entire life. Tried killing us all multiple times, and I love my father dearly now. We have an amazing relationship because once again, I healed that relationship with my father. And I did this through letting go. I let go of how I thought Joselyn should be living her life. I let go of the anger and the resentment that I felt towards my father because I knew it wasn't serving me. And here's the interesting thing about all of this. When I started to heal these wounds, those around me started to change. Now, Joselyn didn't stop her drug addiction, but my dad was actually so inspired by my own healing, he started going on his own healing path. Started doing meditation and yoga, all these things at 70 years old, doing these things, okay? Because he saw me heal. He saw me let go of the anger and the resentment. And I chose to have a relationship with my father because I let go of all of the anger and hatred. I could actually accept him for who he is. Now you may be thinking, well, Jake, I've lost my father and he's no longer with us physically. But you can still merge that energy within your heart and heal it. Because 99.9% of the healing work that I've done with anybody in my life has all been internally. Very few of any of the healing that I have done has been externally. And I want you to remember this. Healing is an internal thing. Your inner healer. You are the inner healer. So when I say something that resonates with your heart, with your soul, and that resonates to be truth in your being, allow that medicine to be activated within you so you can feel this energy begin to open up gates and blockages within your heart, maybe within your root chakra, because you still have some type of trauma that you're holding on to, or your womb energy, or your pelvic area, because you have sacral blockages. I want you to think about that. In the navel area, do you have any blockages around sexuality or sexual shame or sexual abuse, sexual trauma? In your root chakra, what was your home looking like? Was it a broken foundation? Your hips, which are right in the root chakra area, are the foundation of your body. So if your home was unstable, then you may have root chakra blockages. You could have pain in your hips. Emotional pain often leads to physical pain, okay? And when these blockages start showing up in our body, we have to just start digging into the trauma and the wounds that we haven't healed, the unresolved trauma, the unresolved wounds, because we haven't let go of the pain that we still carry that is lodged within our bodies. Does that make sense? Does this resonate with you? When you carry the emotional pain from a traumatic experience, it gets lodged within your body, and it often manifests as physical pain or ailments or things like anxiety or constantly worrying, or you have self-destructive patterns. Now, I'm not giving you medical advice for the physical pain that you may have. I'm just inviting you to open your eyes and open your heart and your spiritual eye to the universe and really ask yourself, what pain is still stored in my body that I need to let go of? This entire week, I've been shown so many signs and had so many downloaded messages about letting go. As a collective energy right now, at this point in time, we are all grieving something. Whether we are grieving the loss of a romantic partner or someone that has died, that has been very close to us, or we're grieving the death of old habits and birthing the new us. Are you allowing the new earth and the new you to be born? Because that's what's happening right now. The old patriarchal ways are being destroyed, the false belief systems, the faulty programming, all of the fear and the guilt and the shame that has been downloaded in to this dimension of consciousness is being destroyed right now. And with that destruction, with that purification, we are bringing in the fire energy. The divine feminine is rising within all of us. And as we feel this inner healer being activated, this divine feminine energy arising within us, you may feel, especially if you're going through it right now and you're in a dark night of the soul, you may feel an abundance of emotion, an abundance of releasing, and you may be shedding a lot of tears, but I invite you to give yourself space and not judge the emotions that you may be feeling in this moment. Allow yourself to feel. We have numbed ourselves for too long, and something that I did for very long was I just numbed my pain, drank it out, distracted myself, found ways to work too much, work out. I always focused on the external things. Money, make money, chase romantic relationships. I mean, we find just about any way, and that's our ego really doing that, but the ego mind will find any way to fill the cracks, to fill the void of our pain. But as I said in the beginning of this episode, allow that emptiness that you feel, that void that you feel, to be filled by God's unconditional love. When you allow that love in, the divine love of the universe, the divine love of God, then you open up pathways within yourself that you just feel unbelievable. You feel divine. And when I say the word God, whatever that means to you, source energy, higher power, whatever you want to call it, you can call it Joe for all I care. Whatever that source energy is, whatever that divine energy is, you want to label it. Allow yourself to surrender into that and be filled by that light, by that love, because it is infinite, it is eternal, and it is purifying. So the more that we go into the depths of our pain and we walk into our shadows, the more we can see in the dark. And this is what I have trained myself to be able to do. Through all of the pain that I have experienced in my life, of overcoming all of the stuff that I went through with my sister, drug dealers showing up in the middle of the night, my dad tried killing me multiple times, all kinds of different energies that I have had to face within myself, within different types of conflict, very scary situations that I put myself in. I've allowed myself to feel that pain, to feel that hurt. But all along, I was training myself to be able to see in the dark because I was walking through my shadows. We get so afraid to look at our weaknesses, to look at our blind spots, to look at our shadows because it's the unknown. But I invite you to look at the unknown, to look at your shadow, to look at your wounds of abandonment or wounds of trust or wounds of insecurity or wounds of neglect. Whatever you feel, whatever hurt you feel, just close your eyes and breathe into it. Breathe life into it and invite that energy to cleanse you, that divine energy just to cleanse you and purify you. I'm curious to know right now in this moment, what do you need to release from your life that is not serving you? What do you need to let go of? Are there things that you're still holding on to? And I've mentioned a lot of these things. Maybe it's your job that's blocking you from stepping in to your sacred calling. And the first thing that comes up is the root chakra stuff around safety, security, survival. And you think, well, Jake, I need money to survive. Right, to some degree, but you also need soul fulfillment. And you also want to align with doing your deepest service here in this world while helping other people. Because if you're at a job that's not aligned with your soul's calling and you're just doing it for money, what are you doing? Wasting your time, wasting your life, wasting the life force that has been given to you. Now, I speak to this very diligently because I left the dream job making upwards of 6 figures at 23 years old. So looking back at that, I was scared shitless. My whole family thought I was crazy. You got safety, security, health benefits, pension, you got the 401k, you got everything. But you know what I didn't have? Soul fulfillment. So what did I do? I gave myself a plan. I gave myself a deadline. I said, by this date, 6 months out, I'm leaving this job. Because if not now, when will I ever do it? When will I ever leave if I don't make this commitment to myself to make a transition? I'm not telling you to go quit your job tomorrow, and maybe you do that, but give yourself a deadline, give yourself a date if that job is not serving you, if you know you're not being of service to your highest calling. Now, if these words that I'm saying to you right now are resonating with you, it's because there's truth behind it. There's truth to the resonance, the frequency that's coming through right now. So when you look into that and you feel into that, is my job serving me? Is my job serving my highest calling? And if the answer is no, then you get to work on that. That's the work. Or if it's your relationship, is this relationship serving me and the other person? Because there's another person involved in that. There's another living, breathing human being involved in your life. And if you're holding them back, you're holding yourself back. So the more you cling, the more you attach, the harder it is to let go. What are the areas of your life that you need to work on letting go of? And slowly just start to loosen the grip, the tight grip, the strangle grip that you have. Just slowly start to release it and let it go. I'm not saying to go drop everything in your life. And here's the thing, coming from a person that is obsessed with healing and transformation, I have learned to do things with more patience, with more ease, with more compassion, more of a feminine energy as I've awakened my own divine feminine energy. Because it's very difficult. It's very scary to just walk in a bedroom, flip on the lights and say, I'm home. No, I think that you should give a phone call. Say, hey, I'm coming over. And I'm talking about to your soul. Call up your soul. Hey, I'm coming over. Is that okay with you? Well, I'm coming. And you start to make that shift. You start to make the subtle little changes in your life. And little by little, you'll notice, you look back, wow, over the last 5 years, I have changed immeasurably. Don't get focused on the future of where you think you need to be. Focus on where you are right now in this moment. Focus on what you've been given in this moment. And I'll give you the analogy of, like, imagine driving down a road, a dark road, a windy road at night. Instead of trying to see at the end of the headlights, just look at what's in front of you. And when you get to that point, go a little further and just keep driving along, slow and steady. There's no rush here. There's no rush in this game. You don't need to rush to making $100,000 a month or having the dream house or the dream relationship. Keep working on yourself, allowing your soul to be more and more free. Keep working on helping other people, and everything's going to work out. You have to learn to trust in the universe's plan, trust in the flow of the universe. I want to give you 4 tips to help you let go, because I know letting go from personal experience can be very, very difficult. Number 1, allow yourself to feel your hurt and fully grieve it. Allow yourself to feel your hurt, whatever hurt you have, and grieve it. Now, there is no set date on the grievance process, okay? It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years. The more you go into it, the more you feel into it, the more you cry it out and release it with intention, the quicker the healing process will be. But once again, there is no date on your healing process. The more stored trauma that has been lodged within your body and hiding out in your body, the more you unpack and unfold all of this stuff. It's like, imagine if you went on a 20-year vacation and you brought home all the stuff with you and all of your luggage. You're going to diligently go through all that stuff. Every time you open up a new suitcase, you're going to unpack your clothes, you're going to take them, you're going to put them away, you're going to throw them out. They don't fit you anymore. Okay? Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to look through those suitcases with awareness. Don't try to do it all at once. Focus on one thing at a time. Be gentle with yourself. Number 2, surrender to the pain and trust in the flow of the universe. Are you willing to surrender? Are you willing to give up external control and surrender into this pain and trust in the flow of the universe? When you are ready to do this, when you're ready to let go of the control that you think you have because your ego is still in the driver's seat of your life, when you let go of this control, you will find that the universe has a beautiful divine plan for you. And she has a loving sense of humor. So we can all anchor into this humor a little bit more in our childlike innocence. And just yesterday, I was walking through the woods as I was coming out of a nature immersion session, and I found a baby pacifier. And the universe sent that to me as a sign, as symbolism, to remember to stay rooted and anchored in your childlike innocence. Don't forget the humor of it all, the cosmic giggle, the hee-hee. And you can hear that now. You can hear that hee-hee as we let go of who we think we are, of our old identities. Now, for me, a long time, my identity was the party boy. I was the loudmouth drinker, taking shots, causing all kinds of chaos. That was me. That was my identity. That was who I thought I was. Now, when I let go of that part of myself, when that old Jake died, the new me was allowed to be born. And I allowed this immersion or emergence process to happen. And that's really what it is. It's the emergence process. It's the same way when a seed grows through the earth and it blooms into a flower. That is emergence. Allow your soul to emerge and let go of who you think you are. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. I'm a realtor. I'm a mother. I'm a nurse. I'm a father. I'm a son. No, you are not. That is your social identity. It's not who you are. And how often when you meet somebody like, oh, so what do you do? How often do you ever hear anybody say, who are you? Why are you here? And when I say that, why are you on this earthly plane of existence? Why did your soul incarnate into this form known as a human body? Woo, we going deep now, baby. Number 3, set this person or thing free with love. So if you're grieving the loss of a person, just meditate on it. Go into it. Bring them into your energy field and wrap them up with a white healing light and send them free with love. Set them free with love. If it's self-destructive habits that you have, set them free with love. Laugh into them each time you catch yourself doing one. Just develop a little discipline, a little self-discipline, a commitment to yourself. Are you willing to commit to yourself? Are you willing to truly make a sacred commitment to your damn self once and for all? Or are you going to keep making excuses for yourself? Don't you want to feel better? Don't you want to heal? Don't you want to align with your divine self? Number 4, merge the energy fully with your heart. So whatever you're losing or saying that you're losing or viewing as a loss, merge that energy fully with your heart while allowing this divine energy to fill this void within you. When you set this energy free and you clear out this space, you create space for new energy to emerge in your life, a higher vibrational energy. Because the energy that you are right now, think about how high you're vibrating right now at this point in time. And you're still attached to something from 5 years ago. Think about the growth that you've had in the last 5 years, about how much your soul has awakened. And once that soul awakens, watch out, because that soul, when it comes to life, there is no more sleepy time, no more night. You can drink it, you can drug it, you can do everything to it, you can beat it over the head with a damn bat. But once that soul awakens, it ain't going back to sleep, because you're starting to escape this matrix, this rat race, this suffering reality, because you're waking up from a bad dream. And that's what happens when your soul awakens. It's like waking up from a bad dream. Have you ever woken up from a nightmare before? That's what happens when the soul awakens. It's very groggy because your ego wants to pull it right down and put it back to sleep. But your soul is fighting through that, fighting through the darkness, learning how to see in the darkness. That's it. Right there. Feel into that. Breathe into that. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. I hope that I brought you a ton of value. It would mean the world to me if you took a moment, took a screenshot of this episode, share it to your Instagram story, and tag me in it. And once again, if you would like to receive healing messages from me through email, go to jakewitter.com/email to sign up today. My masculine and feminine energy course is currently closed, but it will be opening June 1st of 2020. And enrollment will be open then, and it will only be open for a few days. So you'll also get notified through email for that as well. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I love you. I appreciate you. And as always, stay open, stay loving, and stay connected to that beautiful source within you.